Hi.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so we decided to go to the Koorie Heritage Trust Building in Federation Square, and we all went and had a look to see what it offers. Fabiola, what did you think with your experience when you went there?
Well, I went a couple of times actually. The first time I went with my children, my own children. It was an exhibition. We went around. We felt really welcome in that space. It was sometimes you go into a museum or into a shop and then the salespeople are harassing you or are talking to you or following you around. I felt like it was a very free place for children and for people in general.
Yeah. I think we only had like one person came up and just said, did you need a hand with anything or can we show you anything? And otherwise it was just like, we'll be around. If you need us, come and get us.
Yeah,
I have one question.
Yeah, they were really nice.
I have one question. Did you find something like different? Because I heard that there's a like different signs for everyone, like even for the books and for the toilet, it is a different signs as well, like in that area over there. Have you seen that as well?
I use the language on the
The
Aboriginal
language, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's great.
Yeah.
What about you, Sarah?
I found it really warm, like going on the note that you spoke about just before. I felt it really warm to walk into and calming, which was really nice. And I really enjoyed just looking at the art, which really drew me in at the start. Was a beautiful art piece that was, got has bright colors. It wasn't just dot painting, it was, different forms of Aboriginal art within the painting, and it just was animals and landscape. And it spoke about in the blurb in the painting about how the Aboriginal people can, they can see when the trees are going to bloom and how long for, and the animals, there's all this connection. They can understand the environment around them, and the picture was so beautiful. So it was really nice to see that as well, and just walking around in the calm space and being able to touch a few things and looking at a few things. It was just lovely. I felt like I learned a lot and had that time and space to take it in, and all of everything was purposeful, which was really nice.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, they did have really nice artwork.
And it's amazing that you mentioned that about how the Aboriginal people really connect to country, and that's something that I have learned in these sessions, that connection to country. And you mentioned that you saw artwork as well.
Yeah, definitely. And the things that they had in the shop that you could buy, like I could have gotten carried away for lots of things for the children to look at, like the puzzles in there. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember, but it was like the red one with the black around it. It was an animal. I can't remember what animal it was, but like just the puzzle was just absolutely beautiful. I could have bought quite a few things there. So I just refrained myself. I bought a couple of books, and I have read them to the children at work. And so we set up an activity to relate to one of the books. So it was about the footprints that the animals leave. And we did like an animal yarning circle. So we just painted on some white paper, the circle for the yarn. And then the kids just came and they chose an animal that they wanted to be out of the book, and then they did their footprints and they made up like a little yarning circle on the paper around, and it was really, really cute. And then I let them draw on the floor.
That sounds so nice. I'm just picturing it actually, Tracy. That's lovely. Did you just talk and yarn while you did your artwork?
Yeah, well, I sat back and just listened to what they were talking about, and they were actually discussing like how the snake was just like a squiggly line, but the lizard like was a squiggly line, but it had the 2 feet. And then, they were talking how snakes don't have legs, that's why it didn't have the feet, and like the conversations were really, really good. And then I think there was a couple that they found a little bit tricky to try and do, but they still gave it a go. But they really engaged in it. It was quite cute. Yeah. So the book, it's a really nice book, really nice pictures and stuff. So I'm keeping that out for them to go and have a look if they want to go back and keep going with it.
It is amazing. I also find out that they do workshops for children. So if your service is close by to the Koorie Heritage Building, which is very accessible, it's just in there in Federation Square. The day that Tracy and I went, they were running a flower making workshop.
Yeah.
And it was very nice to see all these children there learning from the Aboriginal techniques, how they were sewing on fabric. Yeah.
Yeah, so they run quite a few.
The weaving, yeah. Just the weaving and all kind of painting. Yeah.
What else is fantastic? Within my research, I found that they do education for educators as well, and just community members who want to learn more about the culture, that particular culture or just culture in general. So they'll do workshops, come to the workplace, or they'll host them there. You can book those. It's very easy to book as well, and very flexible, and you get some amazing information. I'd be very blessed if I could have one with my my peers as well. Yeah,
that would be good. They actually offer quite a few things, and I found that their website too was really easy to maneuver, like to get through and look things up, and really easy for
and it was
somebody who doesn't know
relevant
what they're doing.
too. Yeah, it was relevant and current to the times. It was not, sometimes you enter some websites and it dates from 2021. So this one is actually up to date, which was great.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it'd be good when they finish it too. Like, I think there was still another floor that they were working on.
Yes.
So it would eventually be 3 floors, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be quite big, which will be amazing. Like if you had a service quite close and taking the children there and being able to explore, even not booking a tour, but taking, co-workers there and exploring, or as what you did, Fabiola, and taking your children there, building that connection is so, so important. And did you get to speak to anyone there?
Yeah, well, I actually, when I went with Tracy, we got to speak to more people than I did when I went the first time. The first time I just went, had a look around, bought a couple of books as well. But when I went with Tracy, we actually got to connect to the people that was in there. Yeah, how do you feel about that, Tracy?
Yeah, no, they were good, and they were really helpful too, because we were talking, I think it was the guy behind the counter, about doing our acknowledgement of country, and he gave us a few ideas and stuff. So yeah, he was quite helpful too. But yeah, it's a really nice space, and I loved upstairs that you get to touch. Oh, well, I hope you can, because we were touching it. Yeah, like getting to feel things and pick them up and stuff. Yeah, I suppose we could, because there's other things that are in a drawer that you can't touch. So yeah, it'd be good to take the kids there.
Don't you think? It's so inclusive for the children, and everyone learns through touch, and seeing things is fantastic.
Exactly.
But also being able to touch it and feel it builds that connectedness that I feel like the Aboriginal people, they value so much as well.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I'm taking away from this as well, is the amazing connection to land that they have. It's awesome.